All right, so welcome to this week's Unikernel application spotlight. This week we're looking at the AT Proto stack. In particular, I'm not going to go over everything in this episode. Perhaps we'll break this up into multiple episodes and we'll look at individual components. But you might run across this before. Basically, it's kind of a distributed social network, and it has lots of various self-hostable components that you can run. It's pretty extensive, and it actually has quite a bit of activity, it seems. But yeah, so on the self-hosting front, where unikernels may or may not come into play, the stack itself is a little bit I don't want to say complex, but there's a lot of components to it, right? So as you can see over here on the right, you have PDS, your personal servers. So this is something like where you might have something that you run yourself. This can run as its own binary. So like pretty much all these, by the way, can be ran as individual unikernels. Then you got your relay, so that's exactly what it sounds like. It's just there to relay the traffic. You got taps. So taps is actually what we're going to be looking at least one implementation. So that's the other thing to point out is all of these have like multiple implementations. A lot of them are in Rust and Go, which is great from this perspective. I think those are probably the two most popular. Yeah, wow. Let's say it's the top three popular languages in use, just by looking at download stats and things like that from you know um, from our perspective as unikernels, and that's probably just because like a lot of them are single binary projects, which fit into unikernel ethos, right? Versus like some you know 20 instance Docker Compose file or some massive Python project with 200 dependencies. So it's these fit very well into the unikernel ecosystem is the way to put it. But yeah, we're looking at taps, and basically taps are like if you've ever had to like scrape a lot of data, um, or sometimes you're in a position to where uh, the data is coming so fast that it's not something that you want to pull the data for. It's more of like you just want the data to come to you, and so that's what this provides. And it's a very simple chunk of the piece of the puzzle here that allows other pieces of the puzzle, your PDSs and your relays and so forth, to function better than if they had to implement the same sort of thing. You have the app views and then ozone. So yeah, we're not really going to get into like how AT works, but essentially, there's a few kind of top level things. First off, everything's JSON. Second off, all the data has URIs that you can basically identify everything if you know what you're looking at. So we're using Indigo's, which is out of Blue Sky's main repo. They have quite a few different services in here. Again, we're not going to look at them all this week, but we are going to drill in on the tap one. See, they have tap and reload and this rainbow. And oh, wow, Palomar full text. It's new. All right, so anyway, tap is the one that we're looking at. So it's just AT Proto Sync utility. Basically, it automates the backfilling of stuff. It can get the full history from a PDS. It can do ordering, and it can do different delivery modes. It's written in Go. You can use SQLite or Postgres as backend. We're using SQLite in this case. Mileage might vary here. That's kind of up to you to test and figure out what you think is cool. Obviously, SQLite we're just using for the demo purposes. And then, we're going to run through a lot of this stuff. You can get the package here. So we're going to go ahead and grab. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and pull this guy up. I think I'm just using a new Nanos version. We found a recent issue that we had to address, and coincidentally, it had also affected this package. So anyways, we got it up and running. It's go ahead and connected to this relay here, and we have our fire hose. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop open this WebSoCat, and it's gonna listen 2040-80, which is what we're serving on. And then we're just gonna say, hey, subscribe to this guy. We're gonna add this repo. It adds it, and then what you can see is basically you'll get a lot of crap that pops up. So you can kind of see all this feed coming in that came through our listener that we're subscribing to the tap from. And as you can see, you know, A, as I said, it's all JSON. B, we have these URIs everywhere, right? So we can go to each individual thing because we can identify it. Yeah, it's really that simple. Show you some other endpoints that this guy has. So localhost 2040-80 status, so we can get our health. Which apparently it's okay. We can get the info on the DID, right? So we can do things like this. Where was that DID? Here we go. And so now we can kind of figure out, okay, well, it's active, and the amount of records. You can also get kind of you know, the other pieces here. So we can do like a stats record count just to kind of verify the exact same thing, and we got our 1490, right? We can also do you know, repo count. These are just basic things. So again, like, imagine that you might be like wanting to collect this data in a scrapable manner. There's a lot of stuff that's out of the box that allows you to kind of understand where the state of things are, you know, like fire hose and all this good stuff. It's pretty configurable, and like I said, there's a couple different modes. For this, we did disable the axe. At least I think we did. Let me just look that up. Package, no, tap package. Here we go. Yeah, so we did disable right here, and then also I set the base volume up a little bit just to pad it for the SQLite, because that's what it needs. Because I think the actual binary is only at like 37, and that's probably not stripped. So you know, you give whatever space you need. Now, if you're gonna use this in a full-blown style, you might need a lot more extra space, right? In that case, you might want to attach an external volume, which is really easy to do. We have hot plugging support for every major cloud out there, so that's easily done, and you can be off to the races. So this is how you run the tap to do your AT syncing with the Nanos Unikernel, and you know, perhaps in the coming weeks we'll look at some of the other projects in the space. All right, till next time.